The stabbing pain in my stomach kept intensifying as I clutched my phone, struggling to concentrate on what the hotel manager was saying through the haze of post-surgery medication. Mrs. Parker, I hate to bother you, but your children have been crying for hours. Your sister-in-law left the hotel around 8 p.m. Saying she'd be back soon. It's now 2 a.m. My name is Olivia Parker, and at 32, I never expected to be lying in a hospital bed recovering from emergency surgery, listening to a stranger explain that my kids had been left alone in a hotel room in Miami. My husband, James, was stationed overseas, and his sister Madison had insisted on taking Emma, 7, and Lucas, 5, on what she described as a fun beach weekend. They'll be fine with me, she said, dismissing my concern with an eye roll. Quit being such a helicopter mom. I know what I'm doing. That was before my appendix nearly ruptured, before Madison decided that watching my kids wasn't worth cutting into her party time, before I realized how little responsibility meant to her. The symptoms had started the day after they left. By midnight, I was undergoing emergency surgery. Madison sent me a casual "hope you feel better" text with a party emoji, claiming the kids were having a great time. What she didn't bother to mention was that she'd been going out drinking and leaving my children alone in the hotel room. Your children are clearly very upset, the manager, Mr. Torres, went on. We've reviewed the surveillance footage. Your sister-in-law left with a group of people and hasn't responded to any of our attempts to reach her. I tried to push myself upright, wincing from the pain. Are my children all right? Are they with someone now? Our head of housekeeping, Mrs. Martinez, is sitting with them. She has grandkids and didn't want them to be left alone, he said gently. But Mrs. Parker, we need direction. Do you want us to contact Child Protective Services? My heart pounded at those words, every parent's nightmare. But I had another idea. Mr. Torres, could you please hold a moment? I need to make an urgent call. I hung up and immediately dialed another number, hoping she'd answer despite the late hour. After a few rings, a warm, familiar voice answered. Olivia? Honey, are you okay? Margaret, I breathed out, tears welling up just hearing my mother-in-law's voice, not Madison's mom, but James's biological mother, the woman who never missed a birthday, a school recital, or a chance to show love. I need your help. As I explained everything, her comforting tone shifted into one of resolve. Send me the hotel's information. I'm heading to the airport now, and Olivia, don't worry about Madison. I'll deal with my ex-husband's pampered little brat. My phone buzzed with a new message from Madison. OMG, these guys are taking us to their yacht. Might sleep there, lol. The kids are good, they've got TV and snacks. Don't be so uptight. There was a photo attached, her in a tight dress, holding champagne, surrounded by unfamiliar faces on what looked like a rooftop bar. Shaking, I forwarded the message to Margaret. The audacity, she muttered. She and her mother have taken advantage of your generosity for too long. Remember Christmas? When they tried to guilt James into taking the kids to Aspen for a month, just so she could post vacation selfies? Of course I remembered. Madison constantly tried to paint me as the overbearing mom, just because I enforced rules and structure. Mr. Torres was still on the line. I switched back to him, now with a steadier voice. Sir, Margaret Parker, my mother-in-law, is flying in from Atlanta. She'll be there in 3 hours. Can you please let Emma and Lucas know she's coming? Absolutely, Mrs. Parker. And your sister-in-law? When she comes back, I said firmly, please let her know she's no longer permitted in the room or near my children. In fact, I paused, the years of silence catching up with me. Please have hotel security remove her if she tries. I hung up and sank back into my pillows, pain pulsing through me. I pictured my children, frightened, confused, wondering why their aunt had disappeared. To Madison, they were nothing more than props, cute for social media, inconvenient when they needed actual care. A new message popped up from Margaret. Boarded the plane. I'm done watching Madison walk all over people. Her father knows too. It's time for consequences. She was right. This wasn't going to be brushed under the rug. At 5 a.m., Margaret called again. I've got them. They're safe. I could hear Emma and Lucas in the background, voices sleepy but cheerful. I nearly cried with relief. But you need to see something. Mr. Torres is sending you the security footage now. Minutes later, my phone pinged with a video link. Timestamp, 7:45 p.m. Madison dragging my kids into the room after dinner, visibly irritated. Just watch TV or something, she snapped. Emma quietly asked when she'd return. Madison waved her off. Don't be so needy, you're just like your mom. At 11 p.m. She reappeared, clearly drunk, staggering into the room with strangers. Shoo, she giggled. My boring sister-in-law's kids are passed out. They raided the minibar, racked up charges on my credit card, and left again, leaving the door barely secured. The kids woke up crying around 1 a.m. Mr. Torres wrote in an email. They were found by our night manager in the hallway. The door had locked behind them. My stomach twisted as I watched the final clip, Emma and Lucas sitting beside kind Mrs. Martinez while Madison posted selfies on a yacht, completely oblivious. James is furious, Margaret told me. I sent him everything. He's already arranging emergency leave. His commanding officer is helping. Just then, another call came through, from Madison. I answered and put her on speaker. What the hell, Olivia? She slurred. Security won't let me in, my stuff's still in the room. Where were you, Madison? I asked coldly. Out enjoying my night. I'm not like you, some buzzkill mom with no life. The kids are fine, they're just dramatic. They're 7 and 5, I snapped. You left them alone, in a hotel, in a strange city. You're being ridiculous, no wonder no one likes you. James always says, James always. What does James say? Margaret interjected, her tone razor sharp. Silence. Go ahead, she said. Tell me what my son supposedly says behind his wife's back while he's deployed. Mom, Madison's voice shrank. I had no idea you were. Clearly not. Margaret interrupted coldly. Just like you didn't realize hotel security cameras record everything, or that child endangerment is a felony, or that your father is currently en route to Miami, this time, not to bail you out. I heard Madison gasp. Her father, Richard, had always shielded her from the consequences of her actions. He'd paid off problems, smoothed over scandals, but this? Leaving kids alone in a hotel room? Even he had reached his limit. The authorities would like a word, Margaret continued. Up to you whether that happens at the hotel or when they track you down. Madison's tone shifted, suddenly syrupy. Oh come on, it's not that serious. Olivia's just being dramatic because she's insecure. I was just trying to give the kids a little adventure. They're fine, right? No harm done. No harm? I echoed. Only because the hotel staff stepped up when you didn't. Because Mrs. Martinez sat with my children while you drank with strangers. Because nothing happened yet. You're lucky, Madison. But your luck just ran out. What's that supposed to mean? It means, Margaret cut in, your party is officially over. After we ended the call, Margaret sent a photo of Emma and Lucas, finally asleep in a big bed, peaceful and safe. Try to rest, Olivia, she texted, focus on healing. I've got them now. The police have the video, and Madison, well, she's about to find out what real consequences look like. I drifted into a restless sleep, only to wake up to a flood of notifications. Madison had been caught sneaking into the hotel through a service entrance. Security detained her, and her father arrived just in time to find her sitting in the security office, mascara streaked, still wearing her party dress from the night before. Margaret called with an update. Catherine's on her way too. She's furious. Apparently Madison maxed out her credit cards last night buying champagne for her new yacht crew, a bunch of wannabe influencers renting a boat for clout. Catherine, James's stepmother and Madison's mother, had spent years undermining me, blaming my strict parenting for Madison's behavior. I wondered what excuse she'd come up with now. Then James messaged me, I'm coming home, we're done with this, I love you. I stared at that message for a long time, letting the relief wash over me. 4 years, I'd kept the peace for the sake of family. I'd forgiven, overlooked, and tolerated, but this time, Madison went too far. She'd endangered our children, and no one was sweeping this under the rug. Mr. Torres sent me one last clip, Madison, being led out by police. Her father stood silently nearby, expression blank, finally unwilling to shield her. She screamed as they passed the lobby cameras. Those kids are my responsibility, I was just having a little fun. I stared at the screen, furious and heartbroken. No, Madison, I thought. They were never your responsibility, they were your chance to grow up, to care about someone else for once, and you failed. 3 months later, I sat on the patio watching Emma and Lucas play while James grilled burgers. He'd extended his leave to be with us, and we were taking time to heal as a family. It took gentle reassurance and patient conversations before the kids stopped blaming themselves. They kept asking, was it something we did? Meanwhile, Madison was facing the music. The hotel pressed charges for property damage and unauthorized room charges. Footage showed her stealing from other guests while intoxicated. Body cam videos from the arrest made it clear this wasn't a misunderstanding. But the real turning point came from her father. "I'm done," Richard had said in a family meeting. "No more excuses, no more money." He froze her accounts, cut off her rent, and demanded she seek therapy. For once, he chose parenting over rescuing. Catherine, of course, tried to spin it. "This is all being blown out of proportion," she'd scoffed, showing up at our doorstep uninvited. "She's young, she made a mistake." James calmly stood his ground. "Children need stability. If you can't understand that, you don't need to be around ours." Later that week, Margaret sent me a screenshot. Madison had posted a lengthy apology on Instagram. "I've spent 3 months in therapy, facing who I've become and the people I've hurt. To my niece and nephew, I'm so sorry. To my sister-in-law, I'm sorry. What I did was unforgivable." "Do you think she means it?" I asked James, handing him the phone. He wrapped his arm around me, thoughtful. "Maybe. She's working now, taking the bus, living on her own for the first time. That'll change your outlook real quick." Just then, the doorbell rang. It was Mrs. Martinez. She had become a beloved guest in our home whenever she visited town. Emma ran to hug her. The memory of that traumatic night now softened by new, loving moments. "She called me," Mrs. Martinez said as we shared coffee. "Madison," she cried, real tears. "She thanked me for staying with the kids." I nodded. I remembered those crocodile tears at the police station, but that night, no one had been fooled. "The hotel is using your case for training now," Mrs. Martinez added. "Mr. Torres said it's a clear example of why staff must remain alert and follow protocol. They've even increased safety measures." That night, as I tucked the kids in, Emma looked up at me and asked quietly, "Will Aunt Madison ever visit us again?" I sat beside her, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "She's learning some hard lessons right now," I said gently, "and if she shows she's really changed, if Daddy and I believe it's safe, maybe one day, but only when we're sure." Sometimes, I rewatch the footage, not to relive it, but to remind myself why boundaries matter, why protecting your family sometimes means standing firm, even against those who share your blood. The last clip always gets me. Mrs. Martinez, reading to 2 frightened children, bringing comfort where their aunt failed. That night in Miami became a turning point. Madison finally learned that actions have consequences, and we learned that love, protection, and trust don't always come from where you expect. Now, whenever I see my kids laugh freely or snuggle up to read at night, I know we're stronger, wiser, and more careful about who we let into our lives. Somewhere in Miami, those hotel cameras are still rolling, ready to catch the next cry for help. And someone, hopefully, will notice. Thanks for watching. Stay stunned, until next time.